Hi there. I'm Dave Browning. I'm your candidate for Congress for the 6th District of Missouri. For those of you who don't know where that is, that's the northwest quadrant of Missouri. And this time, I want to talk to you a little bit about neocon philosophy and American tradition. And this all came up because I belong to the Missouri RLC mailing list. Republican Liberty Coalition members tend to have many of the same views as libertarians. The difference is, of course, that they don't understand that the Republican Party really can't be saved from its values. So, on the list, a friend started a discussion, and I think it's an interesting one, as to the neoconservative principles. And I think that we can agree that at least one of those principles is preemptive war. And the question arose as to why are people of my generation so pro neoconservative principles. Now, I don't think they are, because I'm not, but there is a force, and it has always been a force in American politics, that goes back to a French general in the 1100s whose view was kill them all and let God sort them out. So Americans have engaged in preemptive war. Remember, the only good Indian is a dead Indian? This kind of theory has been very active in American history and politics, and it is a theme that runs through it. So the neoconservatives have managed to tap into that theme and have two things. First, that the United States should aggressively promote democracy. This is a thing that I have to agree with. I don't think that there's any Democrat in the world using it in the traditional small d sense as a believer in a democratic form of government. I don't believe that there's any Democrat in the world who would believe that the world is safe in the hands of tyrants. And traditionally, democracies don't fight with democracies. It simply doesn't happen. There's no real historical precedent for it. I know we have an incident going on in Russia with, good Lord, I've forgotten the name, Georgia, excuse me, right now. But that's more of a cultural problem and an ethnic problem. The people in Ostia are more ethnic Russian than they are Georgian, and when we have ethnic identity problems and cultural problems, the Slavs have long been looked to the Russians to protect them, and that's apparently what's going on there. We'll see. In any case, other than that, I can't think of a time when a democracy has attacked another democracy. So the safety that we seek in the world can only exist in a primarily democratic world. And the neocons have tapped into that belief and the belief in preemptive war of the American people. But preemptive war goes against the grain of democracy. Preemptive war says that I have a right to impose my values on you. Active Democrats believe that all people wish to have control over their own lives, and that the only way that can occur is in a democratic environment. And they believe that all democratic movements, real democratic movements, should be encouraged. There's a great deal of difference between that and the idea that because you are not a democracy, we're going to go to war with you. War is a dangerous business. It creates enemies by its own nature. It creates hatreds. It relies on force. And those ideas are not things that promote democracy. Why do we do that? Why are the neocons doing that? I think they have bought into the von Clausewitz theory that war is merely an extension of diplomacy. That is the old European tyrannical theory, and I think needs to be challenged whenever it arises. The truth is that democratic political theory simply does not allow us, as believers in democracy, to attempt to force our will on other people. And those who adopt the preemptive war doctrine reject the very heart and soul of democratic thought. Thank you for listening. I'm Dave Browning. I hope I'm still your candidate for Congress from the Northwest of Missouri. That's the 6th District. Good evening.